Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best tips for tomorrow's racing. Now before we get stuck into them, I just quickly want to recap on how our selections have performed today. We still do, however, have one more selection to go tonight at Chelmsford in the 6:15, so we don't know exactly how we've done today, but it's not been a bad day as we've come away with a little bit of profit. Our highlight of the day was definitely alcohol free, advertised here on my YouTube channel last night at 7 to 1 each way, so hopefully some of you got on those prices there. She was about 6 to 1 to be fair for most of the day, and then there was a late move not long before the off, and in the end it was a good ride by Aasheq, who got to the front early on, dictated the pace and was a very game winner in the end, and she definitely stepped up from her Salisbury performance, so I was really pleased with alcohol free. The nap was Tempest, who was the favourite for the Cambridgeshire. We put him up at 6 to 1 each way of the 8 places. Yes, it didn't take a genius to work out, but he got us a little bit of profit from the place money, so no harm done there, you know, and I don't think the race particularly suited him in the end, the way it was run. However, I do think he's not a horse to give up on. I think maybe if Connections, all being well, decide to go to Champions Day, I think he could maybe run a massive race in the Portland Handicap, for example. I still think we haven't seen the best of him, and he could still have a little bit of potential off his mark. So yeah, Tempest, yeah, ran okay, but in the end he just bumped into a couple of well handicapped sorts, and also as well the way Majestic Dawn won that race against the rail, that was the way to run it, and in the end he was never going to beat that horse. But I saw 1 or 2 of you mention Majestic Dawn in the comments, so fair play if you back that one. I know Rory Delagi put it up on the Final Furlong podcast. Don't know how he picks out the 40 to 1 winner there. Obviously it took a brave man, but yeah, fair play to you if you backed it. But yeah, to me, Tempest, yeah, no complaints really. Just probably found the race a little bit too warm for him today, but he'll have better days in the future. And then away from that, yeah, Milltown Star, that was a long shot. That was our opening tip. Was very well gambled on. We put him up at 12 to 1, and like all good each way bets, finished 1 place outside of the frame, so that was a little bit disappointing there. Our other selection as well, Renaissance Rose, I just think she was on the wrong part of the track, you know. I still think she ran a really credible race, but the way the track was riding today just didn't suit us. So yeah, it's not been an amazing day, but we have come out with some profit, and if Red October goes to win in our final selection of the day at Chelmsford, we would have had a good day, because I think I advertised him around about 6 to 1, and that also as well continues our resurgent form from last night as well. I actually didn't record the video after Lucky Lodge won. I recorded it before he won, and he was the winner for us at Newcastle in the final race there last night, advertised at 7 to 1. So what started out to be a tough week to swallow, we had quite a few disappointments in the last couple of days. It's just showing that we are picking up our form, and hopefully it was just a blip in the month of September on what has been a really good month for us, and fingers crossed we can continue it for the rest of the month. So let's get into the business end of things, the tips for tomorrow. And we've only got 3 tomorrow, but we'll keep it short and sweet. We go with my nap, which runs in the 3:15 at Nottingham, with a horse called Herman Hesse for Dylan Hogan and David O'Meara. This is an apprentice handicap and is a far easier race to what he competed in last time. You can currently back him at 9 to 4 best odds. And this horse, Herman Hesse, we last saw him winning a race at Catterick, where he absolutely bolted up over a mile in 6 furlongs. It was a really easy win in the end, and that was in a slightly better race. That was in a Class 4 handicap against some useful stairs, and he's going to have to carry a penalty for this race tomorrow. However, I still think that's not really a big deal for him, and I still think he's got a bit more to come. Now, as a juvenile, he did show some promising form. He probably didn't quite live up to the expectations of his ownership. I think he was in the Qatar partnership, and he was trained by John Gosden as a 2-year-old, but he had a few nice pieces of form, most notably as well when he ran against Staghorn, Midnight's Legacy, you know, that have all proven themselves to be good stayers this season. So he showed a little bit of ability as a juvenile. Then he went over to France, and then he came back, but David O'Meara seems to do wonders from his recruits in France. And Herman Hesse, like I said tomorrow, this isn't going to be a particularly strong race for him. Dylan Brennan Hogan as well has had a good season, been getting quite a few chances with the likes of David Simcox, so he's definitely been an apprentice to keep an eye on, and I just think this horse has got a very solid chance in this race tomorrow, and that's why he's going to be my nap. So that's going to be the nap there. We then go to the 3:35 at Chester with the next best, with a horse called, I hope I can pronounce this correctly, Ejtilaab, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, it'll be written in this video and in the description box below for Ben Curtis and Ian Williams. Now, you can currently back him at 4-1. Now, this horse ran in a warmer race last time in a Class 2 handicap at Aasheq, and the form's not worked out too badly, to be fair. The 8th place horse, Wise Counsel, ran a credible race in the Air Gold Cup. You might remember he was our selection for that race and was a little bit unlucky in the running, and he did stay on quite strongly, so I would actually mark up that performance. But dropping to Class 4 tomorrow I think will suit him, and I still think he's fairly treated. Now, he's a horse that likes to get on with things, he likes to make his running, and Chester, like if you've been following racing forever, you'll know that you need a good draw at Chester. You need to be drawn the inside, preferably stall 1, 2 or 3. They're always fairly good draws, and he's drawn in the plum draw tomorrow, stall 1. So if you can get a nice early start and get up there in the lead, he might just have too much to peg back for his opposition. And Ian Williams, Ben Curtis, they normally do quite well together when they team up at Chester, and I just thought this horse had solid credentials on the race that could be run, his recent form, and I think he's a good thing in that race at Chester tomorrow, so that's why he is going to be my next best. We then go to the 4:10 at Chester with a long shot with a horse called Aasheq for Rachel Richardson and Tim Easterby. Now, you are going to have to forgive him for the majority of his runs this season. However, I think he's down now to a mark where he can be very competitive. He started the season off a mark of 94 and he's dropped down the weights to 88. His performances so far haven't seen him really do too much. However, I think you can forgive 1 or 2 of those efforts, and returning to Chester I think will be a positive move. He's got a good record at the track. He's won at the course before, over the course and distance, and also as well he's made the frame on a couple of starts to the track, so no worries there. And this is a slightly weaker race to what he's been racing in so far this season, and he's now £6 below his last winning mark. His last win actually came at Pontefract last season when he won off a mark of 94, and he's currently 10-1 tomorrow, which I think is a big price each way for him, and it wouldn't take too much for him to bounce back to form in this grade. Tim Easterby's stable have been going okay, and his draw tomorrow in stall 3 isn't too bad as well, so I just thought there was quite a lot of things to like about him tomorrow, and I would expect him to definitely run well in this company. I just think he's one that could be a little bit forgotten about. But Aasheq, even if he drifted on the day, I wouldn't be too concerned. You know, I'm hoping for a good run with our money there, and I think as a long shot tomorrow you could do a lot worse. So yeah, Aasheq tomorrow is going to be my long shot. He runs in the 4:10 at Chester, and fingers crossed we can have a good run for our money. So they're the 3 tips for tomorrow, keeping it short and sweet. In the 3:15 at Nottingham we go with Herman Hesse as my nap at 9-4. In the 3:35 at Chester we go with the Ejtilaab at 4-1 when only bet, and in the 4:40 we then go to Chester for Aasheq, 10-1 each way, and that is my long shot. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button for more videos here on my YouTube channel. If you're liking the videos as well, please remember to hit the thumbs up button, and also as well, if you don't follow me on social media, the place to do so is using my handle on Twitter, which is at LuckyLoader15. If you want to find out a little bit more about myself, check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some wins tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.